We're on our countdown to EDO 2024 governorship election. As the issues are emerging, we'll try as much as possible to engage them so you can make sense of them and take appropriate action. Still TMI on the ITV network. On the show this morning, we have the Director General of the PDP Campaign Council in Edo State. Is a former majority leader of Edo State House of Assembly, is also a former NDDC chairman in Edo State, a grassroots politician, a man who's seen it all and has been given the leadership to take charge in terms of managing the affairs of the PDP campaigns as far as the 2024 Edo State governorship election is concerned. There are also other layers of leadership, but we'll focus on the campaign council against the background that there are burning issues to engage. I'd like to welcome very especially on Bro Matthew Idoike. Thank you for coming on the program.
Sunday Duke, it's my pleasure to be here. Good morning.
Okay. There are burning issues that is attracting a lot of attention and creating perception and perspectives in the minds of the electorate. But let's begin with the party, your party, which seems to have an intractable crisis rocking in, as some would say. The party has long been bifurcated into the new PDP and then the legacy PDP. All of these infractions for some people is undermining whatever effort the party is making towards the Edo State governorship election. What are your thoughts along those lines?
Well, I want to say that we must know one fact, and that is there is only one PDP in Nigeria and there's one PDP in Edo State. When you see people now calling themselves different kinds of names, legacy PDP, coalition of legacy PDP, these are members of the party who, from what I hear from them and from my interactions with some of them, who says that they are the owners of PDP in Edo State. But like I say, who can claim to be owner of a political party when you have people, the likes of us? I've been in PDP since inception, and like you know, we were the first set of legislators that were elected on the platform of the PDP in 1999. So I've been here for so long. Yes, at some point I left the party, I resigned from the party, I went to the APC, but now I'm back to the party. When people begin to make themselves unapproachable and irreconcilable, they say, no, we cannot reconcile, we must bring down the house, we must destroy everything, everything has to end, like the woman before King Solomon, whose child was dead, and said, for the other child, for us to have peace, let's just divide this other one into two. Meaning that to divide that other child, you have to kill that child, and then both of them will end up being childless. People who now feel that the house must be brought down because they have some ambition that they could not achieve at some point. And those who feel that if it is not them, there should be no PDP. As a party, we've done all we can, and we are still doing all we can to reconcile with those ones that will listen to reason. But for those of them who personally, I know that they are not working for us. They are working for the opposition. That is the truth. They are not PDP. How do you take, for instance, I saw a rally somewhere in Edo North, and I saw some persons who had also seen with the leadership of the other party, all of a sudden now appearing in a rally and saying we are the legacy PDP. And then they are not hiding it. They are openly, through their actions, campaigning for the other candidates of the main party that I think we are in contest with. For me, as a person, and for us as a campaign organization, we have decided to keep our eyes focused on the election, forget about all those distractions, those that are genuinely in need of reconciliation, we will do everything within our possible to reconcile with them. While those who want to be inside the party to see how they can bring the party down, of course we will not allow that.
All right, will this not undermine the party's chances? So what is the party now leveraging on by way of engaging the electorate? What message is the party bringing before the electorate with this baggage of irreconcilable differences existing in the party?
Well, first and foremost, you should realize that the voters, the electorates, they are not, about 90% of the people who are going to vote are not card-carrying members of any political party. The members of the political parties, what are their roles? Their roles are actually to present their candidates, sell their candidates, sell the ideals of their parties, the programs of their parties to the electorates, and then allow the electorates to decide. I ran the last election, you saw it. There was no Labour Party structure, but the electorates looked at it, saw the wave as at that time that trended, which was the obedient thing, and we saw how the thing, changed the political dynamics. What we have right now before us in Edo State is a choice between making progress as a state, or we say no, we don't want to make progress, we don't want to stay where we are, we want to begin to go backwards. And now you now look at the people who want to take over from the current government in the state. Look at those that have presented themselves. Look at their background. Look at who they are. For a state like Edo State is one of the most intellectually blessed states in this country. And Edo State is one of those states that, if you want to call a state that has the best human capital capacity, Edo should be one of the first 45 states in this country. Therefore, to govern a state like Edo, especially in the light of the new developments that we have here, seeing the things that Governor Obaseki has done so far, the foundations he has laid, the progress he has made, you need somebody to take Edo State beyond that level, and there should be some level of continuity in the government programs. The institutional reforms, the infrastructural improvements and developments. Look at all the areas. Are you going to talk about the area of agriculture in the state? There are more investments in those areas. Are you going to look at the educational system? Tell me one aspect that PDP has not done well. Yes, Rome was not built in a day. So for us to do well, we need someone who understands what is going on to be able to have a continuous development program, a sustainable development program for Edo State. If you look at the states that we say today in the country that they are working, you say Lagos is working, for instance. Lagos is working because they've been able to have a continued succession of people who were parts of the same party, part of the same program, where the present person stops, takes off from there, and moves on. And that Edo State, we're no longer ready to make progress, take 10 steps forward for political reasons. And
well, that doesn't seem to look like that's what's playing out. You said in Lagos State that you cited as an example.
Yes.
There's a continuum for someone who has been part of the polity, has been part of the system, either as a commissioner, either as a council chairman, and all of that. That's not what's happening in Edo State.
Not necessarily.
In Edo State, you have seen instances. I mean, one of the major misgivings that has engulfed the PDP is that Governor Obaseki came from the private sector into the system. And then, in a sense, he's bringing his friend into the system.
Listen,
yes.
Governor Obaseki came from the private sector. But Governor Obaseki was in the economic team of Adams Oshomole. Asue Ighodalo was also in that same economic team of Adams Oshomole. And Asue Ighodalo has also been around the Governor Obaseki's government. You've seen him during the yearly Alagodaro. He has been the chairman, so he's not somebody that is coming from space. He's not somebody that has not been around the system. Everybody cannot be commissioner, everybody cannot be a local government chairman. Everybody cannot be a House of Assembly member, everybody cannot be a senator. Before Adams Oshomole became the governor of Edo State, he was not anywhere around the state government. He was in the labor union. when I talk about like Lagos State, what I'm saying is that you see, take the case of the candidates of the PDP. He was there in the Adams Ali Oshomole economic team. He was there, he's around the current government, and he understands the programs that have been set up by this government and on the need to continue to develop along that line. Are you going to tell me, as a normal, regular, average Edo person, are you going to tell me that Obaseki's government has not made progress in Edo State as compared to the governments before him? He has made more progress in virtually all the areas of governance as far as Edo State is concerned.
There's a feeling that anytime a governor, an incumbent governor, is more interested in who succeeds him, it means that, in a sense, such a governor has something to hide.
No, I don't agree with that. Any governor who is doing well will naturally want the programs that he has started to be built upon. Nobody wants something that is already having a progressive movement to be truncated. Mind you, in Nigeria, in Black Africa, on most occasions when another political party comes on board, what do they usually do? They're going to tell you that the government that has been there since was a very, very bad government, and they want to try to prove to you that that government was bad. The good things that government was doing, the good programs that government was doing that they had ongoing, they will stop all of them. It happened in this country. When Jonathan was the president of the country, Nigeria was the fastest growing economy in Africa. We all know it. This was the best destination for foreign investors. We're seeing progress being made in virtually all areas. But as soon as the APC government came and they said corruption, what did they do? They stopped everything that Jonathan's government was doing, the progress that we're making. And the next thing, in trying to say, oh, we want to investigate, we want to prove to the whole world that Jonathan's government was corrupt. They now became the most corrupt people. We now saw corruption in unprecedented manner that we have not seen before. We saw the Naira nosedive that in 2014, would you ever imagine in your life that the Naira can exchange for 300 Naira? But today we are talking about the Naira exchanging over 1,000 Naira. And we don't even know. In 2014, 2015, would you ever think that you can buy a liter of petrol for, like, say, 200 Naira? No. But now we don't even know what is the price of a liter of petrol. Some places you buy for 800, some places you buy for 600. It is where I see, I buy. That is where we find ourselves right now. We have become so boxed in Nigeria to the state that we'll be beating you. You know, sometimes when you are beating maybe someone, and the crowd or mob is beating the guy, initially the guy is shouting, please, they want to kill me, they want to kill me. You know, you beat the guy to the point where the pain threshold gets to some point. The guy no longer really feels the pain, but the guy can no longer cry, can no longer shout. But when he feels the pain once in a while, the guy will now just groan. That is the way we are in Nigeria right now. But for you to make progress, there must be somebody who understands the workings of the current government so that there is a near seamless transition so that the direction of government can be sustained, and that's the only way government can be better.
The feeling that many of the promises made by the Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration has not been kept. People talk about the Gili seaport. People talk about job creation. People talk about health infrastructure. People talked about the heavy indebtedness of Edo State. Don't you think all of these are going to play out in this election in the negative sense against the party and the candidate?
Well, when you tell me, you know, I don't speculate. When you talk about the heavy indebtedness of Edo State, the last one you say, Honorable Matthew, as we speak today, Edo State is indebted to this amount of money as compared to other states. Edo State is owing the highest. Every state in this country is indebted one way or the other. But I'll tell you that if you take all the states and put them on a line, I'm sure Edo State is one of the least indebted states in this country. Now you talk about the Gili seaport. You and I know that in attracting investors to that Gili seaport, the role of government, Edo State government allocation is nothing compared to the amount of money that you will use to develop a seaport. And to develop a seaport, you have to make the state first and foremost economically viable.
Has that been achieved in Edo State?
Of course, I think so.
You think or you know?
I know so. Because the Edo State economy of today is better than the Edo State economy of 7-8 years ago. I run a hotel, for instance, without government patronage. In that small business of mine, I know the turnover. The turnover is there because there is increased economic activities in the state. When there are no increased economic activities, where will people see money to come and stay in the hotel? Most of the people that stay in the hotel, they are not people here. They come to this state. What do they come to this state here? They come to this state to do things that is economically beneficial to them.
We've also seen a lot of defections from the PDP to other parties. Yes, we know this is normal in an election cycle, but yes, this is something. Is this not bothering the party, particularly the campaign council, against the background that these people are grassroots politicians who have made impact over the years, and all of a sudden they are leaving your party?
Well, some of the persons that you say they are defecting are the people that are used to the old order, who prefer that when any government is in office or is in position, the monies that should be used for the general good of the populace and everybody should be shared among politicians. And of course, Obaseki belongs to a different school of thought. Obaseki believes that spend more money to provide the things that are needed by the people. Take, for instance, I don't know about I won't talk about other places, but the ones that I'm seeing myself, take the area where I stay, around Second Ugbo. Those areas, during the rainy seasons, you can't even access those areas, but go to those areas now, you have a lot of desilting ponds, you have all the roads, majority of the roads around my own area are tied by the state government. I think Obaseki's government have one problem, and that problem is that they are not publicizing the things that they are doing. The kind of things Obaseki has done that I know, some governments will do it, they will do like 5-kilometer road and commission it for 1 kilometer, and then they're on the television on a daily basis. But Obaseki doesn't believe in those kind of things. He believes that people should see the things he's doing. For instance, I didn't even know that they were walking around Adolo College until recently when I was campaigning. So when I was campaigning that I went to Welu Spare Parts Market and I saw the work that the state government is doing on that road. But there have been so many governments before Governor Obaseki. That area has been the way it was until somebody identified it and felt the need to change this place and do this road.
In spite of all of this, why does it seem like the governor is unpopular amongst the people, especially in Edo South?
I just feel that the governor is unpopular with people who believe that the system of governance should be the old order of governance, where a government creates 1 or 2 multi-billionaires and everybody worships them to the detriment of the overall interest of the people.
So what's the chances of the PDP and its candidates in this election against the background of these myriads of problems undercurrent?
Well, I know Edo people appreciate development. I know the average Edo man, the civil servants and all of them appreciate the things that Obaseki has done so far. And I know that Edo people will always choose the best over and above any other thing. And looking at the candidates of the various political parties, you will see that the candidate of PDP is miles ahead all the candidates of all the other parties, without sentiments. If I wasn't even a politician, if I wasn't even a card-carrying member of a political party, I don't need anybody to convince me, seeing someone like Asue Igodalo against the other candidates, to even look at the other candidates. Because our deputy governorship candidate, I was watching him talk to some people that day, and he was telling them that if a man comes to you and he says you want to employ a driver, and he comes to you, before employing him, the first question you will ask him is, have you driven before? If you have driven before, where did you drive before? And that place where you drove before, why did you choose to leave that place? You look at all these persons that say they want to be governor. What is their background? I think Asue Igodalo coming to serve this time is to give to Edo State, because this is a man that on his own is done well for himself, whether in his private business, in his personal life. He's done well for himself, and it is time for him to also bring that capacity which he has used to develop other areas to the state where he's from. And I think that every Edo person should be very, very happy.
In the last general
such a
election,
son.
in the last general elections, the PDP lost Edo South and lost Edo Central. Isn't that something that should be of concern to you?
But you should also know what played out in that politics. What played out in that politics was something that was affecting the entire country. In Edo State, because that's why I said Edo people are very, very intelligent people. In Edo State, Edo people believe like in fairness, they believe in equity. Edo people didn't see the reason why a Northerner should be handing over to another Northerner in the PDP. And Edo people too didn't believe that there should be a Muslim ticket. And in this state, almost all the Christians in this state queued behind Peter Obi for two reasons. One, it was from the southeast, a geopolitical zone that has never produced governor. And two, it was a Christian. It was the only Christian candidate on that ticket. And this is a Christian state. And this Edo South is cosmopolitan, where you have all these persons. So if you even check, because I was on the ballot, even Labour Party didn't even have agents in most of the polling units. It was just like a raving fire that just ran through like some bush path. So there is no connection. There's no relationship. Now there's no presidential election. I believe that Edo people will queue behind Asue Ighodalo the same way the obedient movement raved. I'm already seeing it. I engage people every day. I talk to people every day. And its acceptance today in Edo State is well over 60%.
Okay. Let me just take a final point on that. There are people who are concerned that the governor has created and perhaps still creating more problems for the candidate of the PDP, talking about Asue Ighodalo. I just want to get a comment along this line as it relates to the recent court case involving two Iniges and His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, as it were, where people have started describing the governor as an enemy to the monarch and all of those things playing out. I mean, Thursday last week, we saw the principalities and powers in Edo State come forth for a protest on that matter. I just want to get a comment on you on that.
Well, when you say the principalities and powers, who are the principalities and powers? I don't know them. Can you mention to me those people you call the principalities and powers? First, why I would not want to dwell on the matter that has to do with issues in court. But I will tell you this, that it is unfortunate that they are trying to now bring it into politics. Godwin Obaseki is one of the subjects of the Oba of Benin, traditionally, just like I am. Every Edo man, especially someone who is Benin, we know the importance of the Benin royal stool. We revere it, and whoever is there, we practically worship that person. So when some persons, they know that in a political party they have nothing to sell to Edo people, all you want to do is to use cheap blackmail. What is the relationship between the matter that is in court, that you know the people who are in court? You know them. They are known people. They are not people that are spirits. Are they members of PDP? Are they officials of government? Are they contesting election? Are they campaigning for any of our candidates? Even you that is saying somebody is Ogyomba, do you even have the capacity to pronounce somebody as Ogyomba? In Benin, every matured person, every adult male or female is addressed as somebody belonging to the Oba, as the Oba zone. If you want to address a matured man in Benin, you say Okbeoba. If you want to address a matured woman, you say Okwoba. All of us belongs to the Oba. And the Oba is not partisan. He's our father. He's the father of all the political parties. He's the father of everybody who is running an election in this place. And nobody can say that the other person is enemy to A son cannot say that another son is an enemy to their father. It's not possible. Only the father can come out to say, this my son, because of your conduct, you are my enemy. Not them. It is not in their place to say. They don't even have that. They don't even have that capacity to say so.
All right. Honorable Martin Udoka, many thanks for joining us on the program. I know that in the build-up to the election proper, we're going to have more of you here to engage some of this. Thank you so much for coming.
It will be my pleasure to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you.
It was on a joke.